Avraham Avinu was sitting at the entrance of his tent 3 days after his bris milah. Spiritually and physically, he was in a major state of transformation, recovering from a deep divine experience and a painful physical one too. In that moment, the Torah says Hashem appeared to him. He's literally having a meeting with God, not just a prayer or meditation, a real open encounter. And then he looks up and he sees 3 men approaching, travelers who seem to need food and rest. And Avram turns to Hashem and says, "Can you wait a moment? I need to go take care of these guys." The question's jumping out at us. You're talking to God. You're in the middle of the most elevated spiritual moment a human being can have. How do you pause that to go deal with 3 strangers? But this moment reveals something very deep. Avraham understood his mission in life isn't just to pray, study, or meditate. It was to be himself. Hashem had told him, Lech, Lecha, be you. Every person has their own strengths, challenges, and story. And Avraham Avinu realized his essence was Chesed, kindness, doing, action. He understood that his way to bring God into the world isn't just through spiritual contemplation, but through living kindness, through manifesting the divine in the physical world. So when he left that moment with Hashem to help others, he wasn't stepping down from spirituality, he was stepping up. He was bringing God into the world in the most real way possible. But there's a huge danger here. If we only focus on what comes naturally to us, we might confuse self-expression with divine service. Avraham had to learn that too. And that's why later, when Sarah tells him there's an unhealthy influence in the home, Yishmael, and that he needs to send them away, Avram hesitates. His instinct is always to kindness. It's always bringing people in. And now he has to push someone out? Hashem tells him, listen to Sarah. In other words, true spiritual growth isn't only about doing what you're good at. It's also about knowing when to hold back, when to say no, when kindness can actually cause harm. And then comes the final test, the Akeda. That ultimate moment where Hashem says, Avram, you've mastered Chesed. Now you need to step into Gevurah, to restraint, strength, the opposite of everything you've lived by up until this moment. And as he walks with Yitzchak, his son, who's the embodiment of Gevurah, of restraint, Yitzchak turns and he says, Abba, my father, what are you doing? And Avram says, Vayomer, Hineni b'ni, behold, I am being my son. I am embodying your strength. And that's the ultimate growth. When a person can not only live their natural strengths, but also embrace the opposite, if that's what Hashem's asking for you in this moment. And that's really our journey too. We need to discover our strengths, live them fully, but also know when to pull back and when to step into something entirely new. All in service of bringing Hashem into this world through our unique selves.